It is a completely ordinary evening. You're standing in a room or a coffee shop talking to a colleague, a new friend, or someone you just met. The conversation is flowing smoothly until suddenly, without any warning, a complete and total silence drops between you. Your heart does a quiet little drop in your chest. Your palms get slightly clammy, and your brain instantly launches an emergency search protocol, frantically scanning every corner of your mind for literally anything to say. Yet the harder you look for a brilliant topic, the more your mind resembles a vast, empty desert. You nod awkwardly, take a slow sip of your drink, or check your watch, watching the 4 seconds of silence stretch out into what feels like an eternity, leaving you with that heavy, sinking feeling that you're somehow socially broken, awkward, or lacking charisma. But here is the profound psychological truth that almost no one tells you. Your mind going completely blank during a conversation is almost never caused by a lack of vocabulary, a lack of life experience, or a lack of interesting things to say. It is caused by an overactive biological filter holding your thoughts hostage. The secret to endless conversation without being awkward has nothing to do with memorizing a list of fake small talk questions or trying to act like a loud extrovert, but rather understanding the hidden cognitive mechanisms that freeze your speech and learning how to step out of your own way. Every single day, thousands of people search for ways to never run out of things to say, and the internet usually gives them surface-level advice like asking open-ended questions or maintaining eye contact, which actually makes the problem 10 times worse because it turns a natural social interaction into a high-pressure job interview where you are constantly calculating your next move. To fix this permanently, we have to look inside the prefrontal cortex at a psychological phenomenon known as high monitoring behavior or the internal sensor trap. When you feel completely relaxed around a best friend or a sibling, thoughts flow out of your mouth almost effortlessly because your brain's internal filter is set to a very low threshold, meaning you give yourself permission to say whatever pops into your mind without judging whether it is intellectual, witty, or impressive. However, the moment you talk to someone new, someone you want to impress, or someone in an unfamiliar social setting, your brain perceives a subtle threat of social rejection, prompting your prefrontal cortex to immediately turn up the security dial on your internal sensor. Suddenly, every single raw thought that your brain naturally generates gets intercepted at the border. Your mind suggests a casual observation like it's pretty warm in here today, but your internal sensor immediately rejects it as too boring. Your mind suggests asking about their weekend, but your sensor rejects it as too intrusive. And while your internal security system is busy rejecting 5 totally normal thoughts in a fraction of a second, 0 words actually exit your mouth, creating the exact awkward silence you are desperately trying to avoid. You're not running out of thoughts. You're simply over-editing your mind in real time until there is nothing left to present. To break free from this paralyzing edit loop, you need a structured, reliable cognitive mechanism to retrieve ideas effortlessly from what is already happening right in front of you. A technique known in communication psychology as conversational threading. Threading operates on a simple, liberating principle. You never, under any circumstances, need to invent a brand new topic out of thin air, because every single sentence another person speaks contains 3 to 4 hidden anchors or conversational threads waiting for you to pull. Imagine someone turns to you and says the simple sentence, "I had to wake up at 5 in the morning today to take my dog to the vet." A nervous speaker running on high monitoring mode hears that sentence and panics, thinking they now need to come up with a brilliant, funny story about veterinarians, and if they don't have one, their mind goes blank. But an effortless conversationalist looks at that single sentence and sees 4 distinct threads dangling in front of them. Thread number 1 is the morning routine, meaning you can pull that anchor and talk about how you're a night owl or how you can never function before coffee. Thread number 2 is the dog or pets in general, allowing you to ask what kind of dog it is or share your own experience with animals. Thread number 3 is the vet or medical stress, opening a thread about dealing with unpredictable errands or sudden emergencies. And thread number 4 is time management or early mornings, letting you ask what project or schedule required them to get up at dawn. By realizing that one single sentence gives you four completely different avenues to explore, the burden of coming up with new topics instantly evaporates, because the other person is literally handing you the raw materials for the rest of the conversation every time they speak. Let us look at another practical example to see how this works in a totally different setting. Suppose a coworker says, "I spent all weekend trying to fix a leak under my kitchen sink, and it was absolute chaos." The first thread you could grab is the DIY and repairs anchor, where you confess that you are completely useless with tools or share a time something broke at your house. The second thread is the weekend time anchor, where you comment on how fast 2 days pass when you are forced to do chores instead of relaxing. And the third thread is the kitchen or home anchor, leading into a light conversation about home projects or living situations. Notice how in both examples, you didn't need a list of prepared questions or a dramatic story. You simply grabbed a single word or concept from their sentence, attached a brief personal thought or an easy question to it, and tossed the conversational ball smoothly back across the court. However, mastering the mechanics of threading is only half the battle, because the second reason conversations feel awkward comes down to how we handle brief pauses when they inevitably happen. When a pause occurs in a conversation, an anxious person experiences a rapid spike in adrenaline, perceiving the silence as an emergency that must be fixed immediately, which causes them to rush in with nervous energy, interrupt the flow, or ask a completely random, disjointed question that makes the interaction feel deeply unnatural. Highly charismatic people, on the other hand, practice what psychologists call low reactive energy and the high status pause. When a natural lull in the conversation occurs, instead of tensing up or frantically searching for words, they simply lean back, take a calm breath, hold a soft, friendly expression, and allow 2 to 3 seconds of complete silence to exist without reacting to it as a crisis. This small, intentional pause does something magical on a neurological level. It signals safety and security to the other person's nervous system, instantly lowering the social pressure in the room and giving the other person the mental space they need to expand on their previous thought or bring up a new thread themselves. Silence only becomes awkward when someone in the room starts acting like it is an emergency. When you remain grounded and comfortable within a pause, the silence transforms from a tense standoff into a comfortable, mature moment of shared breathing room. To put all of these pieces together into your daily life, you must practice lowering the strictness of your internal filter using the first thought principle. For the next week, make a conscious agreement with yourself that in low-stakes social interactions, you will allow yourself to speak the very first safe, mundane observation that enters your mind, rather than waiting for the perfect or clever response to form. If you notice the lighting in a room is strange, say it. If you notice a unique song playing in the background, mention it. If a word someone says reminds you of a movie you saw 3 years ago, bring it up without worrying whether it sounds profoundly intelligent. Conversations are not intellectual debates or formal performances where you're being judged on a score sheet. They're simply shared psychological playgrounds meant for human connection, rhythm, and mutual ease. When you stop acting as a harsh warden over your own thoughts, when you start pulling the dangling threads hidden in everyday sentences, and when you give yourself permission to exist comfortably inside a few seconds of calm silence, the fear of running out of things to say completely vanishes, leaving you with the quiet, effortless confidence to connect with anyone, anywhere, at any time.